Right then, we are one map away from finding out who is going to land. Either Ninjas in Pajamas or the logoless, orgless mix. It's crazy when you look at it on paper. It's pretty cool when you have seen the run, the teams that have been 2-1'd and 2-0'd by mix, and the nature in which they do it. It's pretty awesome. It's hard to respond to without taking increased risk, making forward plays on your CT side, trying to figure out what's going on and so on. Dust 2, a perfect map for that kind of team, and they did take it over Ninjas in Pajamas. Again, it was a close score. It was close at half time as well. There was a flurry of rounds in the middle of the second half of Ninjas in Pajamas, but it felt kind of favoured to mix all the way through, at least for me. I mean, they won most of the round, so I guess there's a bias in there to be had. But indeed, we go to Inferno now. I mean, do you guys still think Ninjas are winning this, or what do you think?
You know what? I don't know. It's a 50-50 for me. I mean, the way Mix is playing, and we saw Nip play Inferno the other day versus Big, I believe, and they didn't look very good. They didn't look very good. They weren't winning any rounds convincingly to make me think that they're going to take this map. So now all of a sudden, the pressure's on Nip. They realize that they're the ones that they're the favorites, and they've got, already added pressure from the community and their org to perform. And especially with this new lineup. And now Mix is like they've got nothing to lose. They're a mixed team. They have no added pressure, only amongst themselves, and they've stepped up on the second map. And if I'm Nip, I'm worried here. I'll be honest, I'm worried.
Yeah. What do you think, Dan?
It's weird because you'd think that they would struggle more in a map like Inferno on the T side just because it's less space. You can't have like these swings for trades as easily as you would. You're going to bunch up more. The utility of the other team is who NIP being a team is going to be more impactful and give them more of an edge. That said, Mouse Sports lost. They conceded like 11 T rounds or something against Mix on Inferno. So that is definitely cause for worry because what you expect with Mix is not really what's happening. So I don't know. I feel like definitely very worrying. They're quite fearsome. And also the thing too is there is that element for NIP where it's like they're going to be making these peaks that you're not going to see other teams do. And in this vacuum of this best of 3 might actually work out. Sure, if you play like 50 maps NIP versus Mix, after the first 10, NIP will probably have them dead to rights and win every single match. But hey, this is the first time they're playing a mixed team.
Look at all these knives, Dan.
What's that?
Look at all these knives you don't have. You could have one though, Dan. If you went to CS Money, maybe don't aim for the stars with the $12,000 knife. Maybe like a $120 knife, like 1% of the price. That will probably make more sense. Start at a reasonable, you can't just like start singing and become Freddie Mercury. You got to be like, I don't know, somebody who's bad at singing. I don't know, whoever. Anyway, I ran out of steam here. I don't listen to the radio.
I do agree with the Freddie Mercury though. You've got to put him up at the top.
Yeah, man.
His voice is incredible.
Who's that guy from Puddle of Mud? That rock band. They still tour, but the guy actually mimes. Can you imagine that? A rock band with a miming singer?
Nice.
Too many drugs, man. Don't do drugs, kids. Or adults. Synopsy's got a P250. P250 on the pistol round of Inferno is especially rare, but I'm especially proud to see it. Pop flash through the smoke allows Plopsky to get one and a lot of information. He sees heads. He needs to pop a few more, but he's bought, they've bought some time for support. The Ninjas in Pajamas, Forest falls off. Not something you'll say very often. Man advantage has kept the Ninjas, and they will take a pistol. A much needed good start to the CT side. Importantly, there is no bomb plant, which means there's no Kriegs.
I think if NIP get, 9, 10 rounds, which I think they're likely to do on this half, I think they're totally fine. It would be, again, if there's a situation where somehow Mix managed to get, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds themselves, that's when I'm thinking, okay, this is going very wrong. But I just don't see how they could do it. But again, oh yeah. Ooh, that's pretty sexy, but it doesn't really connect though.
Please clip all that sound. I beg you, guys in the back. That was amazing. Carry on, Dan. Don't let me stop you. That was amazing. Ooh,
I
yeah.
wanted them to.
That's pretty sexy.
So I wanted them to clip the asphyxiation thing from yesterday because that was really funny as well. Like, ooh.
Yeah, nice try there.
Change your tone quickly.
Nice try.
What do you mean?
Changing them goalposts. Synopsy's taken Lecro out, trying to run distraction towards the A bomb site. That's a huge headshot from him. Will he pull rotation though? Maybe the game is up towards B. Maybe the jig is up. Anakin still has the bomb falling off, but he is going to be collected by the likes of Forest. Maybe everything calms down.
That second Deagle kill from Synopsy was delicious. Will we get some info? Might have another Deagle in him. He's maybe thinking about a fake flash with the smoke for a second there, but goes for the scout peek instead. Watch this second one, this peek. Oh, that is...
How did it even register the person was there?
It's called visualization, James.
It's all these African fibers, man. It's fast reactions.
Visualization.
And if I mixed there, that was a round to win. I think the B players committed a little too quickly to hit B. Should try to wait a few more seconds to allow that A player to draw rotation.
Bish Bosh, Forest is on the way down. Nice. The crawl space. At least you could run through half of it. It was a bit tedious to go through there previously, but now you can make a difference. Or you have the ability to, you have the chance to. We'll leave it a chance. The bomb is on the floor. The door is open. Lecro, a little too hungry for the kill, perhaps. Anakez remains with the MP9. This is winnable in the weirdest way. With where the bomb is, there's a fair chance he's able to close the distance. There's so many places he can potentially come from. Gets to 1 versus 1. But Plopsky will deny. The clean sheet is kept for ninjas in pajamas. The whites are whiter than white.
Do you know about visualization, James?
I do.
You should always be visualizing.
I have binoculars on my desk.
If you're playing and you run out of the focus or energy for the focus to visualize, then you should probably stop playing.
See what Anarchies can do with the op. Not the greatest map for an op, but if he can get... Oh, he saw an elbow.
Oh my god, he saw too much.
Yeah. The bottom player there just out. Pixels too wide.
He's too thick, Rambo. That's what you want to say, but you're too polite. He's too thick. I'll say it for you. I can be the guy. I'm the Batman. I kill those people. Ninjas in pajamas focusing on the B bomb site. They've stacked it. I like this when this kind of thing happens, but eventually you tend to see a rotation back towards A from one of them. But I like the concentration. Stack the B bomb site or save. Juan Flattery, will he look for information towards A? He's in boiler for the time being, while Mix focus on the B bomb site, not getting much of a response. But will they invest Juan Flattery? Will they risk him, or is he just there purely for rotation? They continue to get deeper. Look at this play from, oh my god, from Synopsy. Very unique style that you see from Mix. Now Juan starts to move forward. He sees that nobody else is here. This is great awareness. They've only seen the one player on the B bomb site, but they have a feeling that they're walking into a trap, a bear trap. Their legs will not be caught. They make it towards A, and the bomb will get planted.
And so it begins. In a Mix in the 4th round, you could argue quite quickly they find themselves a round win, and they have done some significant damage to NIP's economy in the last couple rounds with just, again, like these hodgepodge buys, a Deagle or a Scout or whatever it might be. And that's really problematic for NIP.
And this time, Mix smartly falling back to A, allowing Juan to clear out A by himself. That could have been disastrous walking into a full stack B. We'll see if Juan will be able to lurk A the rest of this half and see if he can find some openings, maybe catch some rotations, get some info to hear if the CTs are rotating. Unfortunately for Twist, his teammate arm a little too fat, a little too chunky.
Say it. Say it.
Little
Say
heavy.
it, Ron. He can't do it, can he?
And that gives Anarchist a little signal in his head. What's going on here? He's able to line up that boost shot.
Flash top banana. Regon has the angle. Will Ninjas get caught off guard? Looks like they... Oh no, it's just deep grenade. Oh, it's so deep. Doesn't get a kill though. So many CTs here, so much opportunity, so much spam, so many grenades. They see no one. The spam continues. More flames, more fire.
But look, this is a great reaction. Anarchis knows to push up Arch, even though they've lost a lot of a player and a lot of utility and a lot of HP. Anarchis is converting. This is it's hugely important, but Lekro is aware and spotting for it. And now, you know, that whole exchange of banana is just a complete loss for Mix. A huge net gain for NIP. But Mix, they repeatedly show us that they don't even necessarily need grenades, and they can just win bomb sites by hitting their entries. So we'll see if they can do that here on this B bomb site.
A peek from Synopsy last time was nasty. Yeah, waiting out the grenades. Despite 5, oh no. They straight up dropped the bomb on the floor. We'll talk about it later. Electro, did he deploy a grenade? I don't know if he did. Doesn't have one now. 29 seconds left on the clock. Ninjas in Pajamas moving into a more reasonable formation. Okay, so once again, if you drop the bomb on the floor, that's a huge sound cue for your opponent. If you drop a rifle on the floor, it makes the same sound, so you can use it as a fake. But it's not often you at least catch that during a broadcast. I don't know how common that happens. Some other ways of a fake, you know, like if people are playing, you know, those of you watching, and you say to your teammate, oh, fake B, and then just start shooting randomly, and it's just very obvious. Sometimes, especially on Inferno, you can make like one step to suggest you've stepped by accident to try and cause a rotation or something along those lines. But throwing the bomb on the floor like that, especially with only 3 people alive, is not something you would expect to see. A little clue that does help with the visualization that Dan is talking about. Anyway, 1-4 in favor of Ninjas in Pajamas. Still a lot of CS2B play. That's a big grenade though for Anarchis to eat.
Eat it, he will. Exchange shots. Banana is heavily contested. The deep banana smoke is denying Mix any control of that position. They all actually keep spamming it. And NIP are expecting the mid-take to come in now. And they've got a 4th player who's been able to float over because of the deep banana smokes at the beginning of the rounds. So Mix are walking into a heavily fortified position. The arch smoke thrown in. What is the reaction for NIP? Do they want to challenge the smoke? Do they want to try to flash through it? Or are they just going to play it safe and easy? That's an elevated looking for one of the defenders, and they can absolutely be sure that there's 4 players here, given that they completely voided banana, which they are now retaking.
Big one. Manages to fall back. He might be safe for a second or 2. Molotov to delay things in the mid position. They know at least 2 players are lurking. The bomb falling away from banana back towards the A bomb site. Klopsky wandering almost on speedway. Rez alone towards B. But surely there are sound cues from the player on the bomb site. Plotsky, time for him to rotate back. 17 seconds on the clock. Still nothing seen on the B bomb site. They wait on A. Twisted over the first kill. Can he play off with his teammates? Well, if they're still alive. Stuck around the pillar now. Falling eventually. Plotsky there's got a huge headshot. Stops the double stack bomb plant. But there's still time. And Rez has to rotate from B.
Oof, just enough time for that plant there. 3 seconds left on the clock. At the time of getting it down. And now Rez, as you say, on that rotation in from Porch, but it should be covered. This is a pretty typical setup, honestly. The pit and the corner box is the most classic of setups when you've got 2 players left trying to defend a bomb. And Rez is going to be able to guess this. Gets the first headshot, looking in the sight now, gets the sound cues, gets it. Oh, he gets some damage on Anarchis, but can't find the headshot. That is a very tight round to win, but what an impactful one, because the money for NIP is not really where it should be for a full buy.
And Tudson here with the big kill on Forest. I think that was an unnecessary peek from him. I think you just hold the pit and crossfire with the side player. Again, you don't want to give any clean shots to Mix because they will hit them. And now, Mix, that, you know, They got map control there again. So if I'm Nip, I'm forcing Mix to exec. Do not give them any chances to get picks. Don't give them any 50-50 angles or any shots.
The statistics for on Inferno are bad for both teams. 50% for Mix, 40% for Ninjas with double the maps played in the same amount of time. Or double just about.
Guess that kind of corroborates what we saw with the performance against Big. Fair IP, which was not amazing. The challenge here around Banana, they are heavily investing in IP3 players. They will fall back. They know when to give it up. And there's a smoke. Empty smoke. Only one more smoke remaining on NIP. It is towards that B bomb site still, in the hands of Mr. Plopsky. And speaking of executions, there's only 2 players with utility, but they will make their way into B now.
There's the flash. Regon eats some of it. And Lekro's here. He's got his teammate running distraction through the smoke. Lekro needs to come back, but there's a swing from Rez. And it is a cleanup on the B bomb site. Trying to send the gun to Twist, but he found an AK. 5-2 for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Mix cannot string consecutive rounds together, and now their money has been broken, and their loss bonus sucks as well. Ninjas came into that without all the tools in the world, but they certainly took some with them.
And Nip with the perfect read, expecting a B exec. They didn't have any info mid. They just elected to play 2 passive NA and trust those players to hold it, and just stack 3B. Nick's not expecting the second player in the site.
Really fast play attempted from Mix. This is the round where they can take the high risks because they're not going to lose too much. Made a timing play, didn't work out. Now it is the Dry Peak Simulator 2019. Twist. He would have been good for that one, but you never quite know. Anika's being patient. There's the main punch to be had as well on most of the players. Synopsy, though, continues to look sharp. He's got himself in a dangerous position. He might find himself a rifle if he goes towards the library position, but he'll head towards B, looking for CTs trying to cover the ground. However, Plopsky's on Banana.
This is really interesting. He goes into construction. He might actually be covered. I don't think Plopsky is deep enough to see him emerging from coffins. No, he's not. So Synopsy may have nailed this, but you can see NIP understands. They've checked everything. They know exactly where he is. So getting a plant will be impossible at this point. There's just too many CTs covering everything. And the flash, oh god, is very... Oh, he gets another headshot with a deagle though. Now he's expecting construction. If he gets the right order of peaks and he keeps hitting these 1-deags, you never know. Another attempt.
Oh my god!
Synopsy and the deagle. He is extremely dangerous. His first bullet accuracy is... I mean, you can see why they give him the Krieg. You can see why he's Mr. Krieg.
Yeah.
He's definitely got some first bullet accuracy to him.
That's why he's dry peeking in B in earlier rounds as well. Plays you don't normally see because he's got that crispy aim. Oh my god. He doesn't even swing too far past the head. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty.
Let's see what his settings are.
If I get him on FACEIT, I might not connect.
Not connect.
6-2 for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Down on the settings. Just do the screen QZSD and be done with it. Twist in the short position with the AWP once again. Now we've got AKs for Mix. We've got 3 smokes and 1 flash at this point in the round, a minute 30. But they have people like Synopsy, who is making a name for himself as well. A little jiggle, a little fire damage. Might be considering their options. Aggression towards Arch, perhaps. Smoke is up for now, wants to redo it, but T's will swing. I don't know if they've got the sound cues just yet, NIP. They should have now, because there's lots of running into the Arch position. There's a 2-man push from the CTs from B. Rez trying to stay alive now. He's lost his teammate. He needs to stop the rap, and they're coming for him. He gets around the corner But I think they've realized what's going on. Anakez runs into the crosshairs, and that leaves Regon quietly in CT spawn. He's been heard now. We may see some movement from NIP, some spray into the smoke. A tough spot. Res reloads without punish. Regon so close to the kill there. That would have been so much. Maybe now it's a question of damage. Was the barrel of the gun seen? That's such a sharp shot from him. Switches out for some extra bullets. We have a two-man rotation towards B. 20 seconds on the clock. They can defend the bomb sites now. They need not engage him and give him more opportunity to have an easier time of things on the bomb sites themselves. Lekro bottom mid though, with such low time on the clock. Rez will catch Regon. And despite the war of attrition, Ninjas are the ones winning the rounds.
Yeah, they have stabilized things pretty effectively. A lot of scary rounds and situations and damage output, but they're doing what they need to do. And I think for me, this was the win condition. NIP had to have a good CT side, and so far that's proving to be successful. Mix on their CT side, they like to take, obviously, as we've seen, a lot of risks. We'll see a lot of mid pushes and stuff. So it's definitely more volatile. So I feel like Mix would have needed to get those T rounds to stabilize and protect against risk on their second half.
Ooh, these are very generous shots. Almost 6 on Mix. It's so early. There's so much more play to be had. Clinical with no faith in Mix. So if you are a believer, then there is a window of opportunity there. Man like Regon, battle sniper mode on Inferno. Not the first time we see him do some really important shots, and Plopsky is somewhat sandwiched, trying to hide by the tree. This is a very weird situation for Ninjas. There's a flash to the logs position. This is wasting time, but there is so much time for Mix now. Does Lekro make a play towards the B-bomb site? Plopsky knows he's in trouble, and down he goes. Here comes a faster rotation, but Lekro's going to have to make a play alone because Forest is on the other side of the map.
Lekro creeping construction, but Regon's ready. And Regon is on 4 kills already. He is quite the beast. Don't know that he'll complete the ace though, because Forest is... Oh, actually, maybe Roy's coming in, and Forest will take down one. Regon on the angle, waiting for it, looking for the ace. He wants to complete it. He's a completionist. Forest trying to make it as difficult as possible. Regon having to dodge out of there. Can't hit the shot, and Forest is now on for the clutch. 1 versus 1. And it's just one left. But he will have the position, and Forest is done. 7-3. Or 3-7, I should say.
Regon single-handedly carrying that round. Super aggressive play up mid, picks up the op. And this was a huge kill right there. It's usually an angle that favors the log player. And then Regon finding all the timings.
Yeah, such confident players. You can tell they play extremely large amounts of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that battle sniper mode is quite something. It's rare you see plays like that on an Inferno. Everywhere with the AWP. Behind enemy lines, and it's made Pajamas, it's made them poor. They've got 4 pistols, but Twist, it's his turn to go battle sniper mode, but does he rotate his AWP elsewhere? He's got a Molotov to coffin position, comboed with a nice headshot from Anakez. Hot flash from Plopsky, but nothing more to be done there. Twist rotated, but he had no utility to support his teammate, and surely they hold on to the AK and the AWP now.
Not much to do other than save. The crazy thing is that Mix can still recover like 8-7. Like, that's a possibility. And that would make this game extremely interesting if they manage to make it all their way there. And I just love the confidence from these players. They have so much confidence. It's really crazy. Like, to win the kinds of duels that they win and so on, like, they're really in the zone and extremely confident in their abilities, and it's awesome. It's really awesome to see some of the peaks that they make. Just so sure of the crosshair placement and where where they're going to be taking where the opposing player will be. Committing to the swings.
Yeah, in these situations, especially in the finals, a best of 3 map, some players can stall and hesitate, but not at all with Mix. They are full Wing, advancing forward. And you get rewarded when you play so aggressive like that. You catch people off guard, you get stronger angles that the CTs don't expect.
Some people thrive in the bedlam. In the uncertainty, in the doubt, in the fear. Twist again with the opening kill. This time they're a little better equipped, but only a little. They have the AK from the round prior. Previously it was just the AWP, and NIP expecting a response towards speed bomb site. Oh, the failed jump is a clue. That'll pretty much tell you there are two people right behind that smoke.
Yeah, they don't have any nades to punish it though.
But it can invite the rotation, and indeed Twist is making his way over, although, well, if he were to go all the way, he wouldn't get positioned for a while. Once again, they're going for the dry peaks. It's the bomb carrier. Regon looking for the first entry. Rez spotted. Twist needs to get rotating. He's already got Forest all the way down with another AK-47. There's so much anarchy now. NIP sending it straight back at Mix. Twist has made his way, but he won't get an angle for a while that smoke is up. There'll be a boost. Surely it's looked for. Regon goes flying. Then it's Anakiz versus 3. Does he commit to the bomb plant? Do NIP try to punish it? Twist going to go for a peek maybe. But Sam Q's, oh, the baiting is beautiful. You can see all the confusion. There's too much going on to even say. Twist lining up the shot. The bait from his teammate with the USP, the most expendable person, just making loads of noise towards coffins. He knows he's being baited, but he doesn't know who's going to peek first. Looking left and right, and it's another round in the bag for Ninjas.
One Molotov on the boost spot would be go so far in rounds like that.
That's another half by, saving 1 or 2 rifles from the round before win for NIP. We saw this on Dust 2 as well. Mix not being able to close these situations where NIP saving a couple rounds, a couple of guns to the next round.
Going for apartments control first, our Mix, as opposed to 3 banana 2 apartments. They are actually just walking up into the A bomb site. Just casually just walking up, and Forrest is like, excuse me? What the hell just happened? Anarkez picks up 2.
You can't prepare for this.
Like a stroll in the park. Lovely sunny day.
With some AK-47s. Is this what your strolls in the park look like?
No, but it's a good way to play CS. Just walk in there, no fear. It's so crazy how it works. I feel like there is this dimension of pug style of CS where you go for these like contacts because they're contacting in spots where teams don't do it. I feel like they're showing that it does work to throw it in every so often, and it would be cool to see more top level teams throwing it in. Look how strong that was, just walking up Forge. Oh my god.
You have a player that's excellent at working these entry angles, and you just allow him to lead. And Synopsy had perfect crosshair placement as he was moving forward, or Anarchies. And yeah, if you're CT side, they're already in the site at 120 with no noise at all, anywhere in hall or mid, no flashes or nades. I don't expect the timing that quick.
And the only reason it works is because NIP started with 3 towards Banana, and that was Mix's response to that. Meaning that there's no one boiler, no one porch, it's only Forest and Balk. 2B this time, and you know what? It's working out pretty well. Plopsky's got himself a double, and there's no trade just yet. Doesn't look like there will be one either. Rez might even make it worse here for Mix. Indeed he will. They do take down Forest towards middle to protect the bomb, but Synopsy is all his first bullet aim, needs to get this kill. He's so close. Oh my god, he killed Plopsky behind him! Oh my god, he killed him with the spray all the way to Coffins, finds a headshot. Oh man.
Well, it's not going to be enough. Rez will finish off the job. That's the worst thing when you're behind somebody and you get shot instead of them. It's like, why me? Why always me? Ninjas Pajamas, they've got 9 rounds out of their CT side so far. It's not a terrible start by any means. And there's an opportunity for 10, but Mix are... Now we're seeing more and more game from them. We're seeing the individual skill and the danger of these players. And it's great to watch. We're learning a lot about the individuals of Mix and of Mix as a whole. The parts and the sum. One more round to go. Maybe expecting a reaction towards A. They tried to rush B last round. Didn't quite work out, but they came close, and Twist is ready once again. He's got the first frag in a lot of these rounds. They haven't always gone the right way.
It's a pretty strong position. You need a flashbang to deal with that. Go for the play into B just as a fake, but the bomb's down on the ground in second mid, so I don't know what they're doing right now. Without the bomb, I'm not sure what the plan was. Was it to rotate back to B or back to A, depending on what the pick is?
Maybe the guy top mid was gonna... Actually, who the hell knows?
But yeah, there's only one flash. Like, well, it's gonna work out, it seems. I don't even understand, but going out dry seems to be working for Mix. They get into pit, but again, one flashbang is all they have. Bombs in apartments. It's really weird. One flash to rule them all.
It's really hard to deal with as well. Because you just never know when. It's almost at random. At some point, there'll be a trigger to push the big red button, and in they go somewhere. Really strange. Leaving Regon to recon. Angle for Forest, but it's an instant trade from Glotsky. Ding dong, and Lekro will finish off Tudson. NIP get 10 rounds against a very dangerous, unpredictable, unorthodox Mix. They will start to defend now on the back foot. We'll see if they can make it to land after the break.
Be like Bottle. Build your own community with your very own hub. Join other hubs and play more maps competitively than ever before. Compete for prizes and win FACEIT points just by playing your favorite games. It really is that simple. Join the community or create your own. Only at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I've got to say, I love the, like with the sheer volume of Counter-Strike we have commentated in the different regions we've seen the different players. I love it, man. Seeing the new players come up, seeing the different styles and different continents, it's fantastic. I will never get enough Counter-Strike. Never. Never, 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 never.
But one day you'll be like, I'm done now.
No. That's why I said never there. Don't be like the Americans with literally and could care less.
What do you mean? I didn't do any of that.
You what?
Have integrity.
Make it snappy. Mix have opened up the proceedings on the pistol round. So many questions now for every pistol round. Do the T's plant the bomb? Do they lose? It's like a flowchart. Plant the bomb, lose, creaks. Mix.
Lose, creaks.
It's like really important for CTs not to allow the bomb to get planted.
Well, it's
So
always
never mind diffuse. Why buy diffuse kits anymore?
Well, just let them plant, and then you can take the creeks next round.
You could do that, or you could just stop, not let them plant the bomb. Everybody
Mix,
buy Molotovs.
Mix don't even really buy many creeks as well. They usually just get it on one player. So it's interesting how teams approach it, but
He's got it one way. He's gone up. One. Regon's been lost in the meantime. Tudson behind the smoke, rotating, as is Anakez. And here comes a swarm of ninjas in pajamas players who are about to plant the bomb. The Creeks have been confirmed that.
creek confirmed. Alakez can't find a headshot, but Tudson can. And Snopsy waits as well. Snopsy looking for those frags. There you go. He's a bit of a pistol demon. And he's looking to find Rez. He's looking for the headshot, but Rez is very weak. Gets the headshot regardless. Only headshots for Snopsy. Wouldn't have it any other way. He started the defuse, very calm, as his teammate Tudson holds it down. That's a pretty impressive retake. They did not look like they were going to make that happen, especially without a kit.
And now come the Creeks.
Krieger League. All the Kriegs.
Or
What
even
rounds
just
of Krieg?
AKs. This is the thing, especially in a situation like that, you start, you know, before they changed the economy, right? When you had like a 9-6 scoreline, if the team with the 9-1, they're looking at 12-6. So you start the second half at 12-6. That's a disastrous situation. And now we have the other disastrous situation where you've got like a 10-5. You get to well, a 5-10, you get to 6-10, and then your economy gets reset. Then you're still at the 12-6 situation anyway. It's the same thing.
True. And Mix, they're playing passive off the bat, so if they're smart here with their nades, they'll be able to hold off B, but might see Plopsky with the time. Okay, that's a good smoke. Yeah, he felt something.
I was thinking, yeah,
Felt the
they've
creeper.
been inspired by Mix's gung-ho nonsense on the T side to do the same. Deciding who's smoking what, perhaps.
We see Tudson, he's boosted, and he has the second smoke. There should be a lineup there for him. And Mix is crossfired mid, so they have the information. There's no noise mid or A, so there should be some signals flaring right now. That could be a B hit.
Here come all the mollies. Tudson with the French gun. If he falls off, he's going to be on fire. But, well, there he goes, Deagle. The pistols are down. The pistols are up. It's just Lekro now with no Kevlar. 1 versus 2. Needs to collect a rifle. Needs to plant the bomb. The smoke is going. He's got a 1 versus 1. But he loses the duel. War of attrition goes in favor of Mix. That's a huge hold for those two players. NIP couldn't really get through the choke point without losing like most of the heavy output. All the rifles got dropped. Lekro left alone with the Deagle and no Kevlar.
And that was crucial that Tudson was able to finish that first kill quick, not allowing Nip to flood the site and cross to water.
Yeah, they swung with 1 player facing site, 1 player facing the smoke / the boost. So the player facing the site goes down. He might not have even known where he got shot from. The other players maybe looking for a peek from connector or so on. So it was a perfect storm for Mix, but things turn around again. We've got Rez with the hero Krieg. Regon in the middle of mid's going to get traded. 4 versus 2. This has to go the way of the ninjas.
This is what we talked about, you know, they really like rushing mids, and this is around when you're against a 4-spy. If the 4-spy suspects it, you're going to have a bad time. And now Mix have put themselves in a predicament. 2 versus 4. 3 players in the other team don't even have Kevlar, so it's still a winnable round. I feel like, you know, Mix is that, you know, this can be doable for them. Just because they're such an unknown quantity, you don't know what move they're going to make, but they can all frag. And I'd be splitting between A and B. This is really just an investigation by Popsky, and he's... Alright, one forgot to plug in his mouse. Could have plugged it in.
He's taking a drink at the wrong time.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Okay, he's completely lagged out.
It's a pretty bad spot to lag out.
Yeah.
That was a kill. Because what's interesting there is that that's not only is that obviously a kill, but that will send them likely to B. And at which point Hudson, if he finds a way to get a couple kills, or I didn't see how much time was on the clock at that point, but if there's any level of desperation, the round still seems to be winnable, especially considering that they don't have Kevlar. So that's kind of that kind of sucks. I really wanted to see how that would play out.
That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. The pistols have been split, it's worth mentioning, but indeed the loss bonus is in the bin now. It is minimal for Mix.
Again, Mix losing these low money force buys from NIP. And they haven't been able to close these rounds. It was a questionable mid push. I know you have an SMG and you're trying to catch NIP off guard. And unfortunately just runs straight into an SG and a Deagle T-ramp.
Lecro's Deagle's great.
Yeah, it's been on fire. He had that amazing round on Overpass.
He's really consistent with it. It was notable, that was the first thing I noticed about him on Godsent, was just he's always the last man left, but digging people, just trying to save stuff. Yeah, he's just continued with that. Very different look on Ninjas in Pyjamas now. Twist finally joining the team after repeated refusals. Thank you, no thank yous.
You went to Fnatic first as well.
Maybe he should have joined all along. Looks like he'll find more success here than he had in Fnatic.
Yeah, I think he's joined at a better time for sure. I think it's actually kind of weirdly worked out for him.
He's the hot would-be girlfriend that finally gave in after years of persuasion. Well, everybody's back on the server. And with any luck, we will be starting soon. So this is going to be a key round to set the climate for the second half again in this half. Unless, of course, we head to overtime. One of these teams will be making it to land. So there's a lot on the line here. An AWP for Regon, a scout for Anakez. We know what he can do with that. I will not be questioning him with a scout again.
What can he do with it, James?
Headshot people. He can use the moving speed to snap people's faces off. I want to take his face off. I need to watch that film again.
Ouch.
I saw the 1D coming.
He was running, so Forrest had plenty of warning there. You've got to be definitely a very bold person to make that maneuver. Speaking of which, Plopsky with the double on Banana, and Snopsy will make his push, and he's found a perfect timing. Oh my god, if he got that kill, that's the bomb, and things get weird, but Anarkez, he's only got a scout. That said, 2 players will die from a single shot. That said, the smoke is down, preventing him from firing a shot.
Forrest would have been in position to trade the kill. He's looking for the rotation through mid. Wants to know where Anarkez is. He'll make his way over, I'm sure. Now, we're asking a lot. Oh. Well, wasn't to be this time. So here we are. We spoke about the 12-6, 12-7, more or less, well, it's a similar thing, although Mix or an eco, so perhaps it's worse. Ninjas in Pyjamas are putting themselves in a very strong position to make their way to Texas. We love Texas. You can pretty much do anything in Texas. We've blown things up. Things we haven't released yet, I can't mention, I suppose. And
I fed a kangaroo.
Yeah,
Baby kangaroo.
We found a kangaroo.
I fed it.
Was there a zebra? Did we see a zebra?
There was. Giraffes.
We were hanging out with a giraffe, yeah.
Ostriches.
There's a lot of things going on in Texas. A lot of things going on.
Tigers.
Sometimes I think I've muted my mic and I haven't. I just make noises on stream. But I will not apologize.
Too late to apologize. So they're doing better here. Only USB zone. And the jump through the smoke. So
Looks like
not
a
really
straight
all that
jump.
much to say about this round. Regon, no. He's a beast.
Yes, indeed.
If you could, let's say you had a team, James, you're looking for new talent, and you had to take a player from this mixed team, who would it be? And why?
I mean, these entries from Synopsy are kind of ridiculous. If he can open a site like that, then why not? I think it's a good addition.
Cool. Because I had this conversation with Sliggy and Eamon, and me and Eamon said Synopsy, and Sliggy said Tudson, obviously. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because in this in this small vacuum, we've seen a lot of outstanding plays from Synopsy. So who knows? Anyway, 13-7. It is crunch time for Mix. They have a lot of work to do, and it has to start now. Otherwise, they'll have half the score of their opponent, who will only be 2 rounds away from victory. They don't want to be in a situation such as that. They're really not far away. Forrest eating a grenade on the balcony. It's a pop flash play. We want to see more of this. Rez still gets the frag.
Wow.
He's completely blind. It's hard to tell because sometimes the hand goes up on the model, but it's like a half blind, so you're not really sure. But he should be dead. Just like Jack Bauer. What's next?
Yeah, but only 3 or 2 flashbangs in the smoke. It's not really a good spot to be in with a minute to go on a CT side of Inferno. And NIP have all the utility. They still have NIP have 5 smokes. There was one just deployed, so that's going to go towards. Actually, where did the NIP smoke go? I'm not sure. Either way, they still have 4. So, oh, I went CT. So Rez is going to creep forwards. His teammates are going to fall back. Rez can't get the pick, and Anarchez and Synopsy, they should consider, or rather Synopsy should consider flashing for banana control.
Well, they know there are 2 CTs on the B bomb site, so they're 4 versus 2 on A, which is great information. But they are losing their advantages very, very quickly indeed. 25 seconds to plant the bomb now. They've got the smoke up for the Moto position. Plopsky goes for the safe plant for the pit area. Synopsy and Tudson are both in the red. They do have some pretty sharp aim though. Plopsky being careful. Does he ask a question of Moto? He's looking for it. They've got to be really careful as well. Again, they are in the red. We've got players pushing all over the place, but they're so low. Tudson waiting for a peek. He'll get one. And it's 14 rounds for Ninjas in Pyjamas. It started to collapse for them on the A bomb site, but the smoke certainly helps, and they turned it around.
It's funny because, you know, you look at this game and Mix, even though they're down 7-14, I feel like every round I'm like, they could win this round. Or like there's always complications that are happening in a lot of the rounds. So even though it's so dominant for NIP, I feel like it doesn't really reflect some of the things that have been happening.
Yeah, dying on the B bomb site, seeing 2 players is a pot of gold in terms of info. You go A, you play trades, you're 4 versus 2. In most cases, you're going to do a hell of a lot of damage over there.
Wow, Forrest took a lot of damage there. That was that to Regon or Anarchez? I think it was. Either way, he wasn't able to do much damage back. But they do get a pick towards B, so that's going to be helpful. Still have full utility NIP. That's a good throw. Ooh. Able to Kate down Tudson, that's important. NIP just catching all the aggression as it comes their way. Methodical and effective.
It's a shame now, getting to this point for Mix. They've provided much entertainment, but I'm not sure if 8 rounds in a row is realistic for them. And for that to be the round before match point is a rough one. You do what you can do, but again, if they are to capitulate here, then there are other weeks for them to make a comeback. But they've got a reasonable buy. They've got the AWP on Anarchez, they've got the M4s, they've got the pop flash plays, we've seen that already. Not so lucky on the last one, but there are more to be had. At least one more round of them. NIP falling over suitcases full of money at this point. On their T side, there'll be no let up in this aggression. Rez falling back. Gotta be careful with all these grenades. Anikez finds what he's looking for down the mid position. Some big grenades onto Juan and Tudson, but Mix importantly still have 5 players alive.
And they'll make their way, NIP, towards that A side. 3-man setup around Porch and Pits. It's actually could go quite well for a Mix if they hit their first shots, and that's definitely something that they've been fairly good at doing. The balcony burst, here it comes, and obviously ready right below. Oh, the second flash absolutely owned him, and the trades are very nice indeed. Plopsky with an important double for the bomb plant, and the rotation will come through Banana.
Plopsky super low, 0 utility for Mix. Perhaps they find something on the way, maybe, well actually the bodies are so deep in short that seems unlikely. A re-smoke in that Moto position. Rez covers his teammate, and that's a huge headshot. Plopsky could get wallbanged, but Juan has the element of surprise, which won't work out for him on this occasion. 16-7, Ninjas in Pajamas make it to LAN, and these replays are brought to you by NVIDIA. Ninjas in Pajamas are the next team joining everybody else at the finals in Arlington. Congratulations to them. Nice to see some success for the brand with the recent changes and so on. It's a great confidence boost as well. And who knows what they can do at the finals themselves. An interesting challenge versus Mix, worrying at times, such as the dangerousness of Mix, as you can see with these deeks from Synopsy and others. But NIP able to topple them on Inferno.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. There were some weird situations, but I think honestly, you can't measure too much by this result and how the game went, because NIP are playing a team which, for the likes of a team, the playstyle of a team which you're not going to see really again, most likely, especially not at the LAN finals, unless Mix actually make it there somehow themselves. But NIP looking disciplined, looking very robust. And it's been fun to see that they didn't really get too phased, and at what must have been extremely frustrating rounds, many of those.
Yeah, some very unorthodox timings and peaks from Mix. Very impressive run indeed, making it all the way to the finals, to the last map. Unfortunately for Mix, they just couldn't control Banana on both T or CT side, and on T side, NIP were able to overstack A several times. And then on CT side Mix, since they didn't have banana control, they're forced to play 2 inside B. And NIP picking them apart on T side.
Here is the story of the week. Ninjas in Pajamas coming out on top. Mix looking hella dangerous. Mouse spots getting dropped immediately. That looks shocking. And then you don't really focus on them too much once they 2-0 tricked. And here is the money for the week. Some prize money has been won. Obviously, the main chunk of the cash is to be had at the finals, and Ninjas in Pajamas qualify, as have Avangara over the first 2 weeks. The prize money accrual was determining who went to the finals in the first 2 weeks, but the weeks afterwards, you win the week, you make it to LAN, and this week it's Ninjas in Pajamas in the European region. Now, it is time for the... that was a game. That was a big game with lots of crazy action. Lots of rounds which really went down to the wire, and 1 or 2 people alive. And it's time for the HyperX X Factor play of the game. And once again, as per usual, I have no idea what it could be. It was just wild, especially on maps like Dust 2. So who the hell knows what it is? It's going to be one of the ones on Inferno.
Yes. Just a single orb twist, otherwise a save rounds. Able to find all the kills together as a team, spread out the guns, and pick up the win.
Very fast. He got a lot of opening frags on that game of Inferno as well, which were really important to keep Mix on the back foot, to keep them slightly on the floor, unable to stand and really take that fight against Ninjas in Pajamas in the third map. A dominating scoreline for Ninjas in Pajamas. That brings the European broadcast to a close. However, we have North America coming up pretty much immediately. But before we go to a break, don't forget there are cups available in Europe and North America on the FACEIT platform. Put a search in for ECS in the browser or in the app, whichever you prefer to use, or in the in-game overlay. There's so many different places for FACEIT now. And you can find the cups and information there. Again, if you don't have a full party, you can queue solo or with a few of your friends. And in the last half an hour of checking, you can do that. And then after that, they will pair you with other people who are also needing teammates. Maybe you'll make some friends to play with in the future. Maybe you'll see me there as well. Anyway, that's our show come to a close for Europe. We will see you back here in just a few minutes for North America finals.